the slave market and the purchase. The sky above Zerath Prime was always dark. Thick clouds blocked the stars. Acid rain fell often, leaving burn marks on metal roofs. The air smelled of rust, oil, and fear. In the center of the city, the slave market, was loud and dirty. Strange creatures shouted and bargained. Cages were lined up on both sides of the road. Each cage held beings with broken spirits. Some cried, others stared into nothing. In one of the cages sat a girl. Small, thin, weak. Her skin was light gray with a soft shine, her hair long and tangled. Her eyes, once bright silver, were now dull. She didn't cry or scream. She just waited. Her name was Lyra. She had been sold many times. Every master was cruel. They used her for labor, treated her worse than machines. Now she was too weak to work, too quiet to fight. No one wanted her worthless junk, shouted a fat alien trader. He kicked the bars of her cage. Can't even lift a tool, she's only good for the mines. Buyers laughed and moved on. No one offered a single coin for her, but in the crowd, one man watched silently. A human, tall, wearing a black coat and a metal arm guard. His name was Captain Ryan. He had been standing there for a while studying the market. His eyes stopped at Lyra. He didn't speak, just stared. The traders noticed him and smiled. "Hey, human, looking for cheap labor? Come on, we've got strong workers," one shouted. Ryan didn't answer. He walked straight to Lyra's cage. The trader looked confused. "Her? Seriously? She's useless." "How much?" Ryan asked calmly. "1 credit," the trader said, laughing. "Just take her off my hands, I'll even throw in her collar." Ryan tossed a small metal coin to the trader and opened the cage himself. Lyra didn't move. She just looked at him with tired eyes. "Come," Ryan said. She hesitated, but something in his voice felt different. It wasn't cold. It wasn't cruel. It was soft, maybe even kind. Slowly she stood up. Her legs were shaking and she nearly fell, but Ryan caught her. The crowd around them whispered, "What's he doing? Crazy human. He's wasting his money." But Ryan didn't care. He helped Lyra walk through the muddy street, past other slaves, past laughing traders, past everyone. She wanted to ask why. Why save her? Why now? But her mouth was too dry to speak. Her body was too weak. They reached a small ship at the edge of the city. Ryan opened the door, helped her inside, and led her to a small room with a bed. "Rest," he said. "You're safe. Now." She sat on the bed, confused. No chains, no shouting, no pain. He gave her water. Real, clean water. Not the brown sludge she used to get. He didn't ask her name. He didn't ask where she was from. He just left her there, with a soft blanket and a warm light. As he closed the door behind him, Lyra looked around. It didn't feel like a prison. She lay down, her body shaking. Not from fear, but from something new. Hope. She closed her eyes, but one question stayed in her mind. Who is this human? And why did he choose me? The human's ship and strange kindness. The hum of the ship was soft, like a distant heartbeat. It flew quietly through the cold black of space, far from the noise and filth of Zerath Prime. Lyra woke slowly. Her body still ached, but the pain was less. For the first time in years, she had slept on something soft. Not metal, not stone. A real bed. She looked around the small room. It was simple, gray walls, a small screen on the wall, clean floor, and a folded blanket beside her. A light glowed gently above. No chains, no cages, no yelling. She touched her wrist. The slave collar was gone. Her heart jumped. Where was she? Was this a trick? The door hissed open. She sat up fast, ready to defend herself, even if she was weak. But it was him. The human. Captain Ryan. He didn't come close. He stood at the door with a small metal tray in his hands. "You're awake," he said. His voice was calm. He placed the tray on a small table and stepped back. Food. Water. It's safe. She didn't move. Her eyes were locked on his face. I'm not here to hurt you, Ryan said. You're not a prisoner. Still, Lyra said nothing. When you're strong enough, we can talk, he added, and walked out. She waited 10 full minutes before touching the tray. Simple food, warm bread, soup, clean water. Nothing smelled strange. Nothing looked poisoned. She ate, slowly, carefully, and cried. Over the next 2 days, Ryan came only to bring food or check on her. He never entered without knocking. He never raised his voice. He never asked questions. Lyra watched him through the small screen in her room. The ship had cameras. She saw him working in the control room, repairing wires, checking maps, reading files. He spoke sometimes to the ship's AI, a soft female voice that called him Captain and followed his orders. There were no other people on board. No guards, no masters, just him and her. On the 3rd day, she left the room. She walked slowly through the halls, unsure if she was allowed. Ryan saw her and nodded. You're healing fast, he said. Why? She asked. Her voice was dry. He looked at her. His eyes were tired, serious. Because you deserved a choice, he answered. Not a cage. She stared at him. No one had ever said that to her before. That night, Ryan showed her the ship's garden. A small green room with real plants. She had never seen living plants up close. She touched the leaves, amazed. You grow these? She asked. I'd try, he said with a half smile. Why did you save me? He was quiet for a long moment. Because once, no one saved my sister, he finally said. Lyra looked at him. Pain flashed in his eyes. She was taken during the war, Ryan continued. By your kind. She froze. I know you're not them, he added, quickly. But the galaxy forgets. It forgets that not all humans are the same. Not all aliens are the same either. I'm just a slave, she whispered. Not anymore. His words hit something deep inside her. Something broken. Something buried. Later, Lyra found the ship's medical room. She looked in a mirror for the first time in years. She barely recognized herself. Her skin was bruised, her arms thin. But her eyes, those silver eyes, still held a light, small but there. And in that moment she made a choice. She would live, not just survive. Live. But peace never lasts. On the 5th day, the ship's AI spoke. Captain, incoming signal. Encrypted. Marked urgent. Ryan's calm face shifted. Serious. Alert. Location? He asked. From Zerath Prime Sector. The Bounty Network. Lyra watched from the hallway. She couldn't hear everything, but she saw the change in his posture. Danger. Ryan locked the doors, increased shields, and loaded weapons. Someone was looking for them, for her. That night, Ryan sat at the control room screen. Files flashed on the monitor. Photos, maps, old military records. Lyra entered quietly. They're hunting you. Because of me, she said. I've been hunted before. Ryan replied. You should have left me. He turned to her. No. I should have done something sooner. For others like you. She stepped closer. Who are you, really? I used to fight. For the United Human Colonies. Then I saw what war does. I walked away. Now I help people the war forgot. Even aliens? Especially aliens, he said. Lyra said nothing for a long time. Then teach me. She finally said. Teach me to survive. To fight. Like you. Ryan nodded. Then we start tomorrow. And just like that, something new was born. Not just a rescue, a partnership, a promise. And a storm was coming. The past never sleeps. The training room was small, hidden at the back of the ship. Padded walls, metal floors, no windows, a place built for sweat, focus, and pain. Lyra stood in the center, thin, quiet, still healing, but standing. Rian tossed a small wooden stick at her. "First rule of survival," he said. "Never wait for kindness. Earn strength instead." She caught it awkwardly. "I've never fought before." "You don't need to be a soldier," Ryan replied. "You just need to stop being someone's victim." He stepped forward. "Try to hit me," she hesitated. "You saved me." "Yes. And if I wanted to control you, I wouldn't be handing you a weapon." She took a breath and swung. He blocked easily. Again. 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 Each time her swing was a little stronger, a little faster. Pain rose in her arms, but she didn't stop. Ryan finally stepped back. "Good. Again tomorrow." After training, Lyra sat near the engine room, watching sparks flicker through glass panels. The ship made soft ticking sounds like a giant heart resting between beats. But her mind wasn't resting. It kept returning to one question. Why her? Why did fate, or luck, or some strange twist of the stars bring this human into her life? What did he see in her? Was there something she didn't know? That night sleep didn't come. Instead, memories did. Flashback. 5 years ago, Lyra's planet was green, peaceful, full of music and stories. Her people were healers, not fighters. Children ran through glowing fields while songs floated in the wind, until the sky cracked open. Ships fell from the heavens like fire. The humans came in armor, shouting commands, dragging people into ships. No time to run, no place to hide. Her father had pushed her into a tree hollow, whispering, "Stay silent, don't move," but they found her anyway. Her mother screamed. Blaster fire. Silence. Her village burned, and from that day, her life became chains. Presently, Lyra sat up in her bed, shaking, sweat on her forehead, tears in her eyes. The past never truly left. She walked to the control room. Ryan was still awake, staring at a holo map. "Couldn't sleep?" he asked without looking. "No." "Bad dreams?" She nodded. He finally looked at her. "You want to talk about it?" "Do you believe in fate?" she asked. "No, I believe in choices." "Then why did you choose me?" He stood up and walked to a cabinet. He pulled out a small hollow disk and handed it to her. "Watch this." She placed it on the table. A blue light flickered, a video played, a human military base, cages, screaming, chaos, and in one cage, a child. Alien. Small. Scared. Silver eyes. Her Lyra gasped. "How? I was there," Ryan said. "I was young. Just a soldier. I saw what they did. I did nothing." He looked away, ashamed. "I remembered your face, the eyes. I kept this file all these years. I left the army soon after. I told myself if I ever saw you again, I'd make it right." She couldn't speak. He had carried her ghost all these years. "I failed you once," he said. "I'm not doing it again." Lyra looked at him, and for the first time she didn't see a stranger. She saw someone broken, like her, but strong, like she wanted to be. The next day, the ship's alarm went off. "Unauthorized scan detected," the AI said. "External ship has locked, uncloaking system disabled." Ryan rushed to the cockpit. A dark ship was following them. Black, sharp edges, no flag. "Bounty hunters," he muttered. Lyra joined him. "For me?" "Yes, but they don't know what we are now." He smirked. She saw something in him. Calm, control, and a little bit of danger. "Strap in," Ryan said. "You're about to see how a ghost fights back." The ship turned sharply. Engines roared. Plasma blasts lit up the sky. Rian moved like he was dancing with the stars, dodging fire, returning shots, flipping switches. Lyra watched in awe. He wasn't just a man. He was a weapon. And now, she wanted to become one too. They lost the hunter. Barely. "They'll come again," Lyra said. "They always do," Ryan replied. "But next time, they won't be the only ones ready." Teach me everything, she said. You sure? Yes, I don't want to run forever. He nodded. Then let's turn you into something they'll learn to fear. And for the first time since her planet burned, Lyra smiled. Enemies on the radar. The stars outside blinked like distant eyes. Watching, silent, cold. Inside the ship, things were no longer silent. Alerts buzzed on the main screen. Red lights pulsed through the hallway. Unidentified vessel approaching fast, the AI reported. No response to hails. Weapons detected. Captain Ryan stood in the cockpit, face still, jaw tight. Lyra stood beside him. Even without much training, she could feel it. Danger was close. Same ship from before? She asked. No, Ryan said. This one is bigger, smarter, someone serious. He zoomed in the view, a black and silver warship. Long, armored. No symbol, no lights, like a ghost built for the hunt. They're jamming the comms, Ryan said. They don't want witnesses. What do they want with me? Depends who sent them. Could be slavers, or someone worse. Worse? People who don't want you sold. But erased. Lyra swallowed hard. The idea of being hunted wasn't new, but this was something different. This was personal. The ship rocked as a pulse blast hit the shield. First, warning shot, Ryan muttered. They're not here to talk. Can we outrun them? Not in this region. But we're not running. He tapped a few buttons. The AI voice replied, Evasive pattern beta ready. The ship twisted left, then dropped downward through a ring of floating ice shards. The enemy followed, firing again. Prepare for hard counterstrike, Ryan said. Lyra grabbed a seat. What can I do? He looked at her. You remember the energy console I showed you? Yes. Good. Get there. When I say now, trigger the overcharge sequence. Only once. Got it? She nodded and ran. In the engine room, she took a deep breath. Her hands hovered over glowing controls. Her fingers shook. She wasn't a fighter yet. She wasn't strong. Not yet. But she had one job. Outside, the enemy ship was gaining. Target locked, the AI warned. Impact in 5 seconds. Ryan gritted his teeth. Now! He shouted into comms. Lyra hit the switch. The ship's engines roared louder than ever. Blue flames burst from the rear. For a moment, everything shook, and then they vanished. Teleported 10 light seconds away. Safe. For now. In the silence that followed, Lyra sat on the cold floor. Her heart was pounding. Her body was shaking. But inside, she felt something new. Power. You did good, Ryan said when she returned. I just pressed a button. And saved our lives. She gave a small smile. Was that your plan all along? Half of it, he replied. The other half depends on this. He turned on a hidden screen. It showed data from the enemy ship, hacked during the chase. Lyra looked closely. Coordinates, messages, payments, and one name. Hers. Someone paid 10,000 credits to bring you in dead, Ryan said. Why? I'm just a former slave. No, you're something else. Something they don't want back in the galaxy. Like what? We need answers, and I know where we might find them. A few hours later, they reached a small spaceport hidden in a gas cloud, an old pirate haven known as the Drift. It was a place for deals, secrets, and shadows. Lyra stayed close to Ryan as they walked past strange aliens, old bounty hunters, and black market traders. They reached a bar carved into an asteroid wall. Inside, a tall insectoid bartender recognized Ryan instantly. Haven't seen you in years, human. I need information, Ryan said. You always do. What's it worth? Ryan placed a glowing cube on the table. I'm looking for contracts. Recent hits on escaped slaves, especially one with silver eyes. The bartender blinked his 6 eyes. You just painted a target on both your backs. Too late for that. He handed over a data chip. You didn't hear it from me. Back on the ship, Ryan loaded the chip. Names appeared. Clients, buyers, killers, and one shocked Lyra to the core. This name, she whispered. I know it. He came to our village. Before the attack. Who is he? Ambassador Julik. He said he was there to protect us, but he marked us instead. Ryan's jaw tightened. He's not just a buyer. He ordered the raid. He killed my people. And now he wants you dead, so no one remembers. Lyra felt her hands clench into fists. For the first time in her life, she didn't feel like prey. She felt like fire. Then let's go to him, she said. I want him to remember me before I end him. Ryan smiled. Now you sound like someone ready to fight back. Not just fight, she said. Burn everything they built. But in the shadows of deep space, someone else was watching. A cloaked figure on a different ship, listening to their words through a stolen signal. The girl is waking up. The figure said softly. Just like they feared. He turned off the screen. Contact the council. We need to act before it's too late. The truth revealed. The ship floated silently through deep space, hidden behind the rings of a dead planet. Its engines were off. Lights dimmed. Radar cloaked. Inside, the silence wasn't peace. It was the weight of truth about to rise. Lyra stared at the screen. The name Ambassador Julik blinked in front of her, glowing like poison. Her hands shook. Not from fear, but from rage. He said he was a friend, she whispered. He gave us food, promises. We trusted him. Ryan stood beside her, arms crossed. He wasn't there to help, Ryan said. He was scouting, marking which villages had value. And mine had something rare, he said. You. She looked at him, confused. Me? He nodded and tapped the screen again. An old classified file opened. It was locked. Ryan entered a long code. I pulled this from the Blacknet 3 years ago, he said. It never made sense until now. The file opened. Project Silver Dawn subject class. Xenogeneic psionic status. Terminated location. Hidden colonies. Sector 17-day picture loaded. A young alien girl with silver eyes. Lyra. She gasped. This is me. Ryan nodded. You weren't just a random slave. You're part of something bigger. They studied your people, your DNA. Why? Because you have something humans feared. He paused. A rare mental gift, not magic, not tech, something in between. Your kind could see energy, feel it, maybe even control it. Lyra stepped back. That's not true, she said. I can't do anything. Yet, Ryan said. They took you young, too young to develop, so they erased your people and kept the science. She sat down, breathing hard. So this is why he wants me dead. Not because of who I am, but what I might become. Exactly. And now, someone on the Human Council knows you're still alive. He pulled up another image, a shadowy figure in a meeting room. This is high level, Ryan said. People who control fleets, colonies, law. If they find you first, they'll finish what they started. Unless we make the first move. For the next 3 days, Lyra trained harder. She ran drills, learned hand-to-hand fighting, weapon basics, how to move silently, how to aim and shoot. But more than that, she learned to listen, to the hum of the ship, to the pulse of machines, to the faint electric current in the air. Her hands sometimes sparked when she was angry, and once in the garden, a light bulb exploded when she cried. She was changing, or maybe, becoming who she always was. Ryan watched her from the shadows. He had seen soldiers, killers, war heroes, but Lyra, she was different, not just strong, not just skilled. She was becoming dangerous to the wrong people, and that gave him hope. One night they shared a quiet meal, simple food, protein packs, recycled water. You didn't have to come back for me, Lyra said. I didn't. Then why? He looked down. I was lost after the war, after everything. I kept running from the ghosts. And I was one of them. Yes, he said. You reminded me what I failed to do. And what I still can. They sat in silence. I won't run anymore, Lyra said. Good. Because our next stop is his station. Julik? His base is deep in the core sector, locked down, guarded, but I know a way in. She stood up. Then what are we waiting for? But in another corner of space, aboard a massive city ship orbiting a red star, Julik received a message, an image of Lyra. Alive. Impossible, he muttered. She died in the mines. His assistant, a pale android, replied, The human has her, the one called Ryan. Julik turned to the window, hands behind his back. Send the hunters, double the price. Bring me her heart. What if she's awakened? He paused. Then we destroy the entire ship. Burn them both. Back on Ryan's ship, final systems checked green. Lyra loaded her weapon and stood by the window. Her reflection stared back, silver eyes glowing faintly now. A storm was coming. But this time, she wasn't running from it. She was the storm. The last stand, the ship sliced through space like a silent blade. Destination: the Central Core Station, Julik's stronghold. The system was under lockdown. No civilian traffic. Guarded by drones and auto turrets, it wasn't just a base, it was a fortress, and Lyra was flying straight into it. You're sure about this? Ryan asked. He erased my people, Lyra replied. He tried to erase me. I'm done hiding. Ryan nodded. He had seen warriors face death before. Soldiers, rebels, criminals. But the fire in her eyes now, he had never seen anything like it. She wasn't afraid. She was ready. The plan was simple. A direct assault would fail. Julik had sensors and fighters. But Ryan knew the old paths, emergency tunnels, maintenance shafts, old war routes built into the metal bones of the station. They would sneak in, shut down the shield generator, and send the truth to every connected system. The records, the files, the project logs, everything Julik tried to hide. And if they failed, they'd bring the whole station down with them. The ship landed quietly on the dark side of the station. Ryan and Lyra suited up in black armor. Light. Fast. No symbols. Keep low, Ryan whispered. Stay close. They moved like shadows through forgotten corridors. No one saw them. Not yet. Inside the station, Julik sipped dark wine, unaware. His hunters were waiting in another sector, tracking decoy signals. Fools, he muttered. The girl wouldn't dare face me. Not here. But the hunter net failed to detect a silent override. Ryan's hacking into the old war system. Deep inside, security feeds went dark. Doors unlocked one by one, and Lyra walked right into hell. They reached the shield core chamber. 3 guards. Lyra took a breath and ran straight at them. Ryan fired from behind. 2 guards dropped. Lyra slammed into the third, driving him into the wall. The man raised a knife. She caught his arm, and for a split second the air sparked. Electric energy shot through her fingers into his body. He screamed and collapsed. Lyra stared at her hands. What was that? She whispered. It's starting, Ryan said. Your power's waking up. They placed the virus drive into the core. Files uploaded. Secrets began to flood across networks. 10%. 40. 60, the AI announced. But then the alarms blared. Unauthorized breach detected. Security teams inbound. They found us, Ryan said. Get ready. The doors exploded open. Soldiers poured in. The firefight began. Blaster fire lit the room. Ryan moved fast, shooting, rolling, ducking. Lyra moved with him, slower, but focused. A soldier aimed at her. She raised her hand. His gun sparked and exploded in his grip. He screamed. She stood tall. I'm not scared of you, she said. And for the first time, they were afraid of her. They fell back, fighting room by room. Doors slammed shut behind them. They reached the upper floor, Julik's chamber. Go, Ryan said. I'll hold them off. No, Lyra said. We end this together. They entered the command deck. Julik stood waiting, dressed in white, calm and smug. Look at you, he said. The little slave thinks she's a storm. Lyra stepped forward. I am the storm, he laughed. You were nothing, a broken lab rat. You should have killed me when you had the chance, she said. I'm about to fix that mistake. He pressed a switch. 6 defense drones rose from the floor. Blasters aimed, but Lyra was faster now. She jumped, rolled. Her hand touched the ground. The drones short-circuited instantly, sparks flying as their systems crashed. Julik's eyes widened. Impossible. You feared this, she said, and you were right. She walked up to him. Calm. Fire in her steps. He pulled a hidden blade. Ryan stepped in, too fast. With one move, he disarmed Julik and pinned him down. No more lies, Ryan said. The files finished uploading. Across hundreds of systems, the truth began to spread. About the project, the murders, the fake peace, riots would follow, trials, revolts. But Lyra didn't care about that now. She looked down at Julik. You wanted to erase me? She said. I did it for the safety of the galaxy, he spat. You did it for power. She raised her hand one last time. Julik screamed. And then, silence. Hours later, the station was abandoned. The hunters were gone. The files were free. Julik was dead. And Lyra? Lyra stood on the deck of Ryan's ship watching stars spin around her. The galaxy had changed, and so had she. Once a slave, now a force. Not just saved by a human, but transformed by one. What now? Ryan asked. She looked at him, calm, fierce. Now we find others like me, to save them, to awaken them. He nodded. Captain and Commander, he said. Equals, she replied. And the stars opened wide. A new beginning, the ship drifted quietly through the outer rim where no patrols flew, no laws reached, and no one asked questions. The war was over. The station was gone. Julik was dead, but the fight was just beginning. Lyra stood at the viewing deck, her reflection cast in the glass. Her silver eyes glowed faintly, like starlight trapped in a storm. She touched her chest, where she once wore a slave tag. Now, there was only skin. No chains, no collar, no master, just a memory and a mission. Ryan entered the room carrying a data pad. His face was tired but steady. News is spreading fast, he said. Julik's files are everywhere. Every colony, every station. People are waking up. Good, Lyra said. But that's not enough. I know. He handed her the data pad. On it were names. Hundreds. Maybe more. Alien names. Human names. Coordinates. Frequencies. What is this? She asked. Survivors. Test subjects. Others from Project Silver Dawn. They scattered across the galaxy after the collapse. Some were sold, some escaped, some were hidden. Like me, she said. Yes. She scrolled through the list. Old camps, secret labs, mining prisons, medical sites. How many? Too many, he said quietly. But we can start with one. She looked up. You're coming with me? You think I'm letting you fly into battle alone? He smirked. You're the muscle. I'm just the guy with the ship. She smiled. A real one this time. You saved me, she said. No, he said, stepping beside her. You saved yourself. I just gave you the door, you kicked it down. Later that night, Lyra sat alone reviewing the map of star systems. Her fingers hovered over a red zone. Sector E9. Deep territory. Restricted. Known slaver zone, I remember this place, she whispered. They took children there. She tapped the location. First target, first rescue. Her war was about to begin. But in a shadowy part of the galaxy, deep inside a hollowed-out moon, other eyes were watching. Around a black table sat 5 figures. Human, alien machine. Julik has failed, one said. Worse, said another. The data is out, the world knows. What of the girl? A screen lit up. Lyra's image appeared. "Alive," said a third voice. "Strong. Awakening faster than expected." "This is unacceptable," the machine-voiced figure said. "We must contain the breach." "She's not a breach," came the final voice, cold and clear. "She's a storm, and storms only end one way." The screen changed. "Order 7X. Eliminate subject Lyra, bring me her heart," the leader whispered, "or burn everything she touches." Back on the ship, Ryan checked the engines. Lyra entered the room, armored up, blaster at her side and her hands still glowing faint blue at the fingertips. "Ready?" Ryan asked. "Always," she said. He smiled. "You don't have to do this. We could disappear, vanish into some quiet star field. No more war, no more blood. And leave them?" she asked. "The ones still in cages? The ones still being hunted?" He looked at her, really looked at her, and nodded. "Then let's light the fire." She walked to the cockpit and tapped the console. The ship's engines roared. Destination locked. Unknown colony. High risk. Classified. She turned to Ryan. "This is not revenge anymore," she said. "This is justice." He leaned back in the seat. "You've changed." "No," she said. "I just remembered who I was meant to be." The stars opened up before them, behind them, ashes, ahead of them, war. But in her eyes burned something, stronger than fear, hope, and for the first time in a long time, the galaxy was about to feel it.